Hello guys, it is Maggie and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you are new here. If you're new here, these are not my regular kind of videos, but welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a book video. If you guys have been like following me on Instagram, watching my vlogs, you know that I kind of got into reading a little bit last year. So in honor of my new hobby, I decided to make a New Year's resolution of trying to read 22 books, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's about like 2 books a month, a little under. With me being a full-time college student and everything else going on, I figured that that was a good goal to set. So today I thought I would show you guys what those 22 books were with some honorary mentions and give you guys some ideas of books maybe that you would want to read in the new year. So with that, let's get started. So if you guys follow me on Goodreads, well, if you don't, my username is just Maggie Atchison, or I will link it in the description. But if you do follow me, you know that I have finished 2 books already this year. The first one was Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I gave that book like a 3 stars, I think. There was just nothing really drawing me into the book. It took me a long time to finish. Like, I actually started it in 2020. But that was my first book I read. It's kind of just about like this famous sibling group, and they throw a party every year. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just, yeah. I just thought that the culture sounded fun to read about, like the celebrity culture, that kind of stuff, but it was decent, but I wouldn't really recommend. And then the second book I finished is Verity. Guys, if you have never read before, well, I hope you've read before. If you're like not a reader and you're trying to get into reading, this is the book for you. It's Verity by Colleen Hoover, which our girl Colleen Hoover literally never disappoints. But this was just like mind-blowing, shocking. I stayed up till 4 a.m. one night to finish it because I couldn't put it down. There's just like, yeah, I don't even know how to explain it without giving anything away. It's just like literally mind-shattering, a little disturbing in some parts. It's a thriller. Colleen usually writes romance novels, but oh my gosh, guys, this is such a good book. I've never been so consumed by a book that I like felt like I was almost there. Like, I felt like I was in the room while this was happening. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I want to just like forget all about it so I can read it again, but I don't think I'll be forgetting about it anytime soon. So Verity by Colleen Hoover was my second book. Now we'll go in like no particular order. I'll just go over the books that I have with me and then also the books that I don't have but want to read. So next we have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover again. Our girl, my favorite author, everyone's favorite author, I feel like. I really wish my whole list could just be like her books, but I try to space them out and like read them when I'm in like a reading slump, because I know she can get me out of that reading slump. I know that I won't be able to put this down. I really just have no clue what this book is about because I'm just reading it because everyone's told me to, and Colleen Hoover once again. Yeah, I'm not gonna figure out what it's about, but It Ends With Us, Colleen Hoover, number 3. Alright, so a lot of the books that you see are kind of like, everyone talks about them on BookTube or BookTok, but this book I feel like kind of sticks out. I literally don't know why I want to read this book. It's called The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Literally, I don't know why I asked for this for Christmas. Like, it does sound good, but it's thick. Like, it's thick book. I'm pretty sure it's about this group, this book club, and they figure out that there's a vampire in their town and they try to solve the mystery of who the vampire is. Haley Pham read this and she said it was like decent, and when she described the plot to me, it just really, I don't know, drew me in. Like, I want to know how they find who the vampire is. I don't know, maybe that's not what this is about. It's like a mystery though. I'm pretty sure like a kid goes missing and she wonders if it's the guy she's been talking to. But I'm pretty sure that the book club tries to figure out who the vampire in the town is. That's what Haley Pham told me, so that's what I'm expecting. Alright, the 4th book I have is 1,000 Boy Kisses. It is a romance. I am like really into romances right now. Shout out to Colleen Hoover for that. But basically, this girl and this guy, they were like besties when they were little, I'm pretty sure. Keep in mind, I haven't read any of these, so this is just going based off of like what I've heard. But they were besties when they were little, and then he moved away, and then he comes back and she like won't talk to him. So you figure out why Poppy won't talk to Rune. And then it says when he discovers the truth, he finds the greatest heartache is yet to come. So what is truth? I don't know. Next we have The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. Obviously haven't read this one, but the things I've heard from people, I never like read really the inserts. I just like hear like someone talk about it and I'm like, oh, that sounds good, or someone refers a book to me. But pretty much her husband goes missing and she starts to like uncover all these things about how he wasn't who she really thought he was. She tries to figure out like all this stuff about him with his daughter. I don't really know. And then I don't know. That's all I know. He goes missing and she finds out he's not who she really thought he was and all this other stuff. All right, I know what this one's about because everyone talks about it. This whole series by Holly Jackson, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So this book is about this girl in high school. She has a podcast and there was a murder in her town a couple years back and thought they knew who the killer was, but she decided to reopen it for some reason and finds out that it might not actually be the person who they thought it was, and she tries to figure out who it is. That's pretty much what I've gotten. I might have made the podcast thing up, but I think she does have a podcast. But this one is really good. I've only heard good things about it. It's literally a #1 New York Times bestseller, so you know it has to be good. So there's also 2 more books to this series, so that this series holds 3 books, because if I'm starting this, I'm finishing the entire series. So it's the first one is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and then it is Good Girl, Bad Blood, and then it is As Good as Dead. So that is one series that I would like to read in 2022. But that's not the only series I would like to read in 2022. I would also like to read, oh my lord, Harry Potter. I actually just started Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which I've already read, but I want to read it again to start the whole series. I just want to read the series because I've actually never watched the movies or read the books, so I feel like I should. I feel like I really like the first book, so why not finish the series? Why not complete it? They're easy reads, but I think I might halt this series and wait till I'm done with school, because I found that like it's really daunting to be like, oh, I have like all of these books to read. So I might just like start a Colleen Hoover book, start It Ends With Us. But yeah, all 7 of these books. The 8th book I've heard is kind of just like a script, like a screenplay. So I don't think I'm gonna even read the 8th book, but this is a big chunk of what books I would like to read in 2022. But now we can get into the books that I don't have that I would like to read. Okay, this book, I'm like actually gonna go and order on Amazon after this because I want to read it like now, even though I should probably read one of the books that I have. But I would love to read The Midnight Library, because that book has just, I haven't heard many people talk about it, and I've heard like some really good things and some people that were just like meh, but I think that this book would just really I don't know, I just think this book sounds so smart, so good. So it's by Matt Haig, I think that's how you say it. So this book does have a trigger warning about self-harm, so pause if you don't want to hear about that. But it's about this girl who commits suicide, or tries to commit suicide, but the attempt luckily doesn't work, and she goes through like this library, and like each like shelf or something shows like all of the lives that she can have, all of the things that her life can turn into, pretty much just showing like life has so much more to offer. So I think that's just a really good message, and I think that just sounds like a really good book. So I'm gonna read that. Another, just everyone loved it, everyone read it in 2021, is The Love Hypothesis. I just want to get in on what everyone was talking about. It's kind of past, but like I still don't know what it's about. I just need to know what the hype about it is, so I feel like I'm left out. Another book that I need to know what the hype is about is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Once again, this is a book that I really have no clue what it's about, so that's how I like it and that's how I'm gonna read it. And then I didn't necessarily love Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I do want to give her another try and read Daisy Jones and the Six. It's about like band life kind of, and just like it's thrown back, so it's not like current, but like it's all about band life, and I've just heard that it's like a really fun and like different book, so that is another book I'd like to read. And then something that I've heard literally everyone give like 5 stars and raging reviews that has read it is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is just all I know is about like childhood sweethearts reconnecting after a long time, and I literally don't care what it's about. Everyone is like, you have to read this, like it's a lot of people's literal favorite books. Like a lot of booktubers that I watch who read like 40 books like a month, okay, probably not 40 books, but like read a lot of books, said that this book is like one of their all-time favorites. So I have to read it, I have to know. So those were the 22 books that I would like to read in 2022. So those are the 22 books that I would love to read in 2022 and that I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna hold myself to it. So DM me every day telling me to read. But yes, so if you guys have read any of these or want to read any of them, comment. If you guys have any books I should add to my list, comment down below. These are not the normal videos I make, but if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and let me know, because I'd love to make different videos than just vlogs. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!